Remember back in 2021 when everyone assumed that Patrick Mahomes wasn't good anymore? Like, I'm not making that up. That was a legitimate thing that kind of happened. I remember I had a tweet at one point where I literally just said, hot take, I think Mahomes is still good, and that got actually a lot of people criticizing it. I tried to go back and find it, which ended up being more difficult than I thought it would be, but to take my word for it, yeah, it was a legitimate conversation that was had last season. And by last season, I mean 2021, not 2022. But, I mean, it was a thing. If you look at his overall box score stats that year, it was his worst statistical season, not counting the year where he played one game in 2017. You see that, I mean, he had the abysmal touchdown to interception ratio of 37 to 13, a passer rating slightly under 100, and didn't even throw for 5,000 yards. What a complete scrub Mahomes was in 2021. But it was really this stretch. This is his game in and game out stats. I know it's a little small on your screen. Apologies about that. But it was really this kind of this stretch right here where he had 12 interceptions in a 6-game stretch. That was kind of the main thing that happened. Sorry, 10 interceptions in a 6-game stretch, not 12. 12 total. He only had 2 other interceptions for the rest of the year. But yeah, I mean, listen, in the first 7 games of the season, he had 10 interceptions. He was leading the league in interceptions at a certain point. And it was a popular narrative to say that Mahomes had regressed to the mean in terms of interceptions. Because if you look at his overall stats, and really it's the column all the way to the right that I want to start off talking about, the turnover-worthy play percentage. A 2.6 turnover-worthy play percentage over his career isn't bad or anything, but definitely you wouldn't have expected him to consistently be throwing basically no interceptions through the course of his career. You know, the fact that he only, he was seemingly throwing, 5 interceptions in 2019, 6 interceptions in 2020. He definitely had gotten a bit lucky in that scenario, but also the pendulum swung the other way, where he then had some bad luck in 2021, and his turnover-worthy play percentage is exactly what it's been for his entire career, but despite that, he just happened to have a little bit of bad luck early on, and that resulted in his interception totals getting worse. But because of that, people thought he wasn't as good. And, in fairness, you look at his overall PFF grades, and they also agreed that he had a rough 2021 year. I think it's fair to say that's probably the worst year he's had since being in the NFL. But it's just interesting now that we have a time capsule of knowing he would literally come back and have one of the best seasons of all time, or at least a very good season. Maybe that's hyperbole, but an incredible season in 2022. It makes the people that criticized him in 2021 look a little silly. You see this interception as a good example of kind of what went wrong on certain plays. Of Mahomes tried to make too much happen, ended up just throwing one up that got intercepted. That wasn't a great play. He had a few like that. He did. But as a whole, not that many. I mean, it was a small sample size thing, and people love to live in the moment when it comes to football. And so that was kind of the criticism, but just kind of an interesting thing I wanted to bring up. So, yeah, those are my thoughts on this. What are yours? Let me know in the comments below. Always love hearing from you. And, of course, as always, thanks for watching.